Alright, welcome back. Hope everyone's having a lovely day, a lovely night wherever you're from, and real quick before we get started, as always, I want to give a lovely shout out to the channel members on this channel. So thank you so much to these lovely commanders here that you see on screen. Thank you guys so much for your guys' constant generosity and your support to me as always. It really means a lot to me, so thank you guys so much. And if you guys are actually interested in becoming a lovely commander yourself, if you are interested in any of these cute and lovely emotes, loyalty crown badges, if you want a special role in the Discord, make sure to join the Discord. But as always, if you choose to do so, thank you so much. Just remember, that's not the only way that you can support me. Just watching the content like you are right now is truly the best way. Liking, subscribing, and commenting, everything really does help. So thank you guys so much. And for today's video, before Liberalio comes out tomorrow, I wanted to make a video in regards to Chime. Haven't had the time to do it, trying to push everything, trying to recover. I'm sorry, I still sound a little sick. I promise I am recovering, but still, the grind must keep going. And for now, I do want to talk about Chime, and it's going to be interesting because she is a welfare unit, and obviously with the title of the video, it is a bit sensationalized, but hey man, I gotta do something when I'm bored. But I do want to talk about her, so let's get started. And with the account and timing and everything, obviously income is not going to matter. What's going to matter is your account, because she is going to be a welfare unit that you can get, and you can choose what you want to use from this box, but it only matters if you have crown. And now this is really important because if you do not have crown, Chime is absolutely worthless. She's absolutely worthless to new people unless you get lucky and you get crown while you're rerolling or something. But to be honest with you, right now, if you do not have crown, Chime is absolutely worthless. But if you do have crown, she's going to be actually spectacular. So I'm a bit torn, but at least for me and for a lot of people who are still playing, if you have crown, she's going to be absolutely phenomenal. But I do want to get a good look at her because honestly, she is a goblin and I love her. I know some people don't really like her, but I personally love her JPVA because she's just so good. I loved her in Lost Kingdom. She was just fantastic. Like, it's just perfect, dude. Like, the goblin voice is just so sweet. She's great. Ever since we saw her preview back in Mask's original story for the Golden Ship banner, I was so interested in her character, and to see her in Lost Kingdom was phenomenal. To see her back now, even better. It's awesome stuff. Cannot wait to see what they cook up. She looks fantastic. She's adorable. Obviously playing it safe. Don't really care for these type of designs anyway in that aspect. Sorry, don't really care for Cunny, but she looks really, really cute. And I do like her banner. I plan to keep the box because I'm a psycho. So when I do my mass summons, I'm just going to use my pity on just getting her MLB from there because I want to keep the box. So I'll just finish out the MLB that way. That's perfectly fine. But she looks cute, and I love how proud she looks. Even in her chibi model, look at that pride walk right there. I love that. So good. That smile is great. She's fantastic. Lovely character. But let's talk about her skills and everything. And let me tell you, you guys owe me one because I went the extra mile for her. Yes, I just slapped on a purple doll and did not care. I'm not going to waste my mats on that. But not only did I get overload gear on her, which I think is worthless, by the way, and I'm going to talk about why in a little bit. I got, obviously, you know, bond level 10 for now until we get more dupes. But I maxed out her skills for no reason, just cuz. So, you know, don't say I don't do anything for you guys. And then the cube. Let's talk about the cube first because she is an SMG and she does, like, no damage whatsoever. So if you really want to slot a cube on her, either the highest level cube, I'm just putting on the assault cube just because she can just try to attack something and it's just a free spot. So I'm just using a filler cube personally, I don't care. Now, when I talked about the overload, you really don't need overload for her. And if you do, it doesn't matter, just keep her at 0. I just went with whatever. I actually managed to get like some attack line. So it actually kind of worked out. I don't mind at all. So that's cool. But let's talk about the reason why overload is kind of a weird question. So her skills, first off, basic. Her biggest thing is that she is a re-enter burst too, so you need another character with her, which is perfect because all her skills are basically only for crown, except for one. Now here's the funny part. They did not want to make sure that this character was strictly just for crown so people won't shit on them because technically she can be used for anybody, only for the max ammo capacity going up 20% for 10 seconds on the re-enter. That's it. Nothing else. Like, statistically, without crown, She is the worst unit in the game by far. He's worthless. But let's talk about her with Crown, because everything affects the king. And to me, when I see the king, it's only for Crown. I don't think Modernia or any other person lore-wise is going to be the king. Because I think to Chime, the king is Crown herself, the presence, the goddess, right? Because I think that's like, she sims for her in a sense, right? Like loyalty and everything. So that's cool-wise. But I do think that if we ever get a variant of Crown, like a summer Crown, or let's say like a winter Crown, I do think that this is still going to work for her because it's still the king to Chime. So I actually do think this still has its place. Now let's move on from the yapping and let's actually break down these skills, because with the skill 1, Chief Aid activates at the start of the battle and affects the king. Wish attack goes up 46.46% of the caster's attack continuously. So the attack for Crown will go up based on Chime's attack. So that's why the question for Overload and dupes kind of come into question, because she will get a boost for the attack and that's going to help out. But when it comes to the difference between overloading and not overloading, and even maxing out this skill, brings a big question. And also for a lot of people that say like you need to overload her, no you don't. You're going to be wasting your materials, and I'm going to show you why later. Now with skill 2, the King's Secretary activates when entering full burst and affects the king. Daily report, normal attack damage, multiplier goes up 46.22% for 10 seconds. And now her burst skill for the king. The re-enter burst skill stage 2, but for everybody, max ammo capacity goes up 20% for 10 seconds. And then for just Crown, loyalty, attack damage goes up 92.44% for 10 seconds. So that's pretty good, but most of this is just for Crown. And that makes sense, you know, based on the kit. But I do want to talk about the testing, because with testing, it's going to be interesting. I keep talking about the difference between non-overload and overloading, just for people who are naysayers who are going to tell me like, well, you didn't overload her and it's going to make a difference. Let me show you. So first things first, when we're talking about Crown and testing, what I did in the Union shooting range was first just focus on pure iron DPS with the classic team with Crown, Siren, Rappy Red Hood, and Helm. Now, this is obviously my Helm T3, and we're not going to be really looking at Rappy Red Hood or Red Hood, maybe just look at the numbers to see the differences. But for now, we're just focused on Crown, who's doing almost 1.7 billion. But here's the thing, if we replace Helm with Naga, Naga's going to be able to proc Crown's skill too. So Crown goes up to 1.77 billion. Now Rappy Red Hood doing a billion more, and Red Hood actually went up 600 million. So that's pretty good. But now, let's look at how the difference looks when we actually add Chime to the equation. Now I have to move the team a little bit because Red Hood makes things complicated. But Crown is almost at 3.1 billion now. That's insane. Insane of a boost, going from 1.77 billion to 3.1 billion almost. So that's crazy. Rappy Red Hood obviously dropped a lot, same with Red Hood. They dropped a lot compared to before, but Crown is getting a lot of TLC now, and honestly doing pretty comparable numbers. Now realistically, you wouldn't be using this team combo because you would be spreading out your iron units more, but I'm just doing this just for quick comparison's sake. But here's the thing, he does great with non-overload. This is her non-overload for Chime. But then I decided to do a comparison where I do overload her, and it barely went up 100 million for Crown. Like, Crown is almost at 3.1 billion, and now she's around 3.23 billion. So around 100 million increase, and it's not really worth it at all. And for Chime herself, she went up like close to like maybe 100 million, but like doesn't really matter because her numbers are still bad. So I honestly don't think it was worth the materials invested into Chime overload gear wise at all. I mostly just wanted to do this just for comparison's sake, because also I was curious as well. But then I decided to do one final test where she was actually in a non, element. So this time I actually just did neutral with fire, and Crown's not doing the worst. Close to 1.8 billion is obviously not the worst we've seen for, neutral content damage, but obviously not the best. You can tell where she really shines with being on an actual iron team, but still really good. And I cannot wait to see how the teams are going to work out when it comes to this upcoming raid. I'm interested to see how in certain raids the teams will be approached, especially this raid. We'll have to see, but do let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Honestly, I think she does her job really, really well. It's just a shame that for people who don't have Crown, she's pretty worthless, but I am happy with the character nonetheless because Crown really does shine now, and I'm interested to see how it would affect any ults that she gets down the line. But But that is going to be it from me. So I hope you guys have a lovely day, lovely night wherever you're from. And as always, thank you so much for the constant support. Take care and have a good one.